Welcome to Whispers and Choco. This is how we do, and if you don't know, now you do. I'm Shawnee Whispers.
And I'm Mike Choco.
Together we are Mike and Sean in purebred loco. Oh no, we fucked that up. Okay.
Yeah.
And we might go loco.
And we might go loco.
And just in case you wonder what went wrong, or you just in case you wonder what took long, we'll say that we're sorry, and this show is going.
This show is going
Straight to hell.
straight to.
I like that one. Yes.
Hello, everybody. Sorry for the little delay. I had an audition, and Sean was out hitting Yodelay bombs, so he'll be along shortly. But we just figured we'd start the show, and thank you, I appreciate it. Thank you. There's nothing more I could ask for but applause. So that's what we got. Today's a special day because it's the day after yesterday and the day before tomorrow. And you always do your best stuff the day before the next one. I think I just created something.
We're going to warm it up for Sean, huh?
Yeah, get that seat warm, get him a drink, maybe probably have some sore muscles. Probably everything in his body is sore at this point.
You know what we should do? We should get a picture of him, like printed.
Or just hold something
just-
up right here.
Yeah, just put him there like a bobblehead.
Like it would be like, yeah, no. I just think a cutout of him would be a cutout and just his voice in the background recorded. So every time I go out with him, what I'm going to do is I'm going to record his voice just saying shit. Because that's usually what he does, just says shit. Anyway. What's today's date? Today is the 17th, June 17th, 2021. And New York City and California are fully open. As if that means anything for all of us. It just means if you got nothing else to do, go out and spend some money. Holy shit. The good guys are here. Oh. Hey, so Sean needs an assist right now
Pick up his seat.
to get in the game, and we brought Sean to sit down.
A filling.
Here it is.
Put him on the seat. Yeah, put him on the bed. As a matter of fact, put him right there on the counter. There you go.
Here we go. We brought Sean in a box so that he could join us because, it's just not working out. Fucking guy. Yeah, so he's out. Sean's out hitting yodel bombs. Yodel, hit him so far away. He's got bad ankles, bad knees, bad hips, bad wrists, bad shoulders, but a great personality. Yeah. We played softball Sunday ourselves. We have a team, a 189 team, like a get-together reunion team, guys who grew up. And 189 was the junior high school. It was also the park that we all played in after it. So a lot of guys went to that school and all that. And so a lot of the football teams and softball teams we have over the years, we've put 189 to it. We played, and, it's okay. We're an okay team. And we hit. We just don't catch too well. But everybody got hurt this past Sunday. Everybody who was old pulled a different part of their body, a muscle, cramp, hamstring, knees, quads. I mean, it's a sign for people that are getting old not to play sports unless medically cleared, and none of you will be medically cleared. Another special thing today is something that we were supposed to get to before, and this is as a friend of a friend reached out to us and said, could you talk about this on the show? And, I don't know why we didn't do it sooner, but I just wanted to bring it up. So we have a friend, Tina, and Tina has a friend, Anna. And
Anna got a friend.
And Anna's got a husband named Brian. And Anna and Brian have a daughter, and her name is Brianna. And Brianna is autistic.
Okay.
And Brian works for the strongest, for sanitation. But Anna taught her daughter how to bake. And so I hear that. I don't know the full, what it involves in when you're autistic, and how to help, what you need to do, what you need to learn in how to help them. But apparently she taught her how to bake, and the kid loves to bake, right? Like it's her thing. And so she started a consulting for Prepared Chef. You know, they do so she goes out there and she does her thing and she works for them. And she's been putting money off to the side so that eventually she wants to open a food truck. And when she does, it guarantees that Brianna has a job at this food truck for, you know, the rest of her life, which is an awesome thing to have, you know, and I'm sure it's not easy. And so she's 16 and she's hoping that by the time she's 18 and graduates from high school, that she'll be able to, you know, not be able to, but she will, as soon as she graduates, she'll have this and jump in there. So this is something that she wrote that I'm going to say out. So this is from Anna. My daughter Brianna is my inspiration. She is 16, has autism, and loves to cook and bake. I joined Pampered Chef to make extra money to buy a food truck and start a baking business with her. So that she will have a job when she graduates. Hopefully, over the years, it can expand and create more jobs for other individuals with special needs. So here is, she's just not even thinking about herself and her daughter in the future. She's thinking about, you know, the possibility, another generation, you know, and that other people could hear this and then tell someone else and go, look, you know, this is what this woman's doing and it's amazing. It's her daughter. And we have a friend who has, his son is autistic, Dennis Enriquez. And I don't know much about it, you know, and I asked him, is there a charity that we can donate? And he said, you know, he was like, no, they don't have one specifically for them. He was like, any one of them would work. And it was like, you know what, I wanted him to call because I wanted him to like tell his story. But also, if I was going to make a donation, I'd like to make one to Anna and one to, you know, under each person's name. But Anna has her email is pcannab17@gmail.com, and you could hit her up directly and, you know, take care, you know, probably give a little donation or something like that, because everything helps. And isn't that what we're all here for? Yeah. We're here to help each other. Absolutely. You know, like it just doesn't make sense for those who don't want to do it, you know, because I mean, I don't have a lot, but if I could do anything for anyone else, I'd love to reach in my pocket. Except
for her to grasp, you know, baking. I mean, that's
but
awesome.
amazing. Like I think there's something about it that there's something that they're most comfortable with, that they become with, and that one thing, whether it's numbers or whatever it is, but baking, it's everything, you know. And then the fact that she's probably, you know, then understanding that she's doing it with her mom too, you know, is, you know, got to be amazing for her mom. And also, so if you go to www.pamperedchef/PWS/AnnaB17, you can go right directly to Pampered Chef and help out through there. You know, and that's, again, I mean, that's what it's all about. It's an amazing thing to hear about it. I don't know. I don't have any children. If I did and this came up, I would know who to reach out to. Like if I had a child now and I was told that he was autistic, I have people. I just imagine being a parent, not having anyone, you know, to tell you. Because, you know, the other thing about it is like when we were evaluated, when we had social workers and all that from the 60s and 70s, man, they had some shitty fucking technology. And, you know, and that technology, the way they judged who had issues was like, if you acted out in classroom, you were just, you were done. Mentally disturbed. You have fucking issues. Let's lock you up. You know? And that wasn't the case. And I only say that from experience because I've battled anxiety in my life.
Is that why you're saying I got kicked out of like 4 different high schools?
Yeah. No, that's why I got kicked out. You know? Like, I just, you know, when I was a kid, like, I acted out. I admit that, you know, but I just, the school or the people, wasn't even comfortable at home. People didn't understand my depression or my anxiety. They labeled me Ms. 2. Ms. 2 was, you know, like mentally disturbed. And I wasn't mentally disturbed. I had issues, but I didn't have those issues. They put me in a class with like truly special needs kids. And I was like, even the teachers were like, look, you don't you don't belong here. And I was like, it was true. I didn't. Like, I shouldn't have been there, but it was because I acted out so much that because the script said, nope, special needs, like really, really special needs, and they went with that. And the good thing in life is that we clean that mess up, what those doctors and psychiatrists learn. Because
So you were just a badass. Period.
yeah, like you know what? I acted out. I didn't want to be in class. And then eventually I dropped out. And then I went back and I got my GED. First time I got my GED. And then I was like, you know, and it was time to do other things, you know? I love to read. I love to read the newspaper when I was in the second grade. I read the Daily News in the second grade, okay? I wouldn't read the Daily News now. Now I would never, the Daily News is awful.
Wait. Ain't the Daily News like the one that went out?
No, so the Daily News, not only do they jack their prices up, but their politics are like, they make it almost everything about all their articles and everything they talk about. Like I was a kid, I used to buy I'm talking the second, third grade, fourth grade, fifth grade. I used to go to the store, buy the little quart of water.
Do people actually like go to the library and like get books and now?
Still, yeah. Like I mean,
online, like even
online, you register for online books too, and you have a certain amount of time to use it. I still like buying physical books, you know. 2 books that I just picked up recently. One that I started reading. I picked up Obama's book. I want to read that, you know, see what he's got to say. But I also picked up Rakim's book, Rakim's bio, Eric B. and Rakim, and probably one of the greatest rappers of all time. But he has a story to tell, and I'm already in the beginning, and you know, you don't want to put it down. I just finished reading a book, but I still like the physical book. I don't know, I'm just, you know, different. But you know, all that craziness, you take the philosophies that we learn more, like what autism is and all this other stuff. And so more power to those people that, you know, have it to deal with it, know what to do, and don't listen to anybody and just keep doing your thing. So, I mean, if you can help out, sure. I mean, it's an amazing story. I wish I would have got to it sooner, but yeah, so if you reach out to an email at pcannab17@gmail.com, or you can go to pamperedchef/pws/annab17. I mean, if you ever wanted to help somebody out and chip in, right there's the prime example. There's someone for you. So that's all I have to say on that one. I just wanted to jump out and say that don't listen to the doctors. I'm not crazy.
Anthony Delasio, we see you. What's up, my man?
Hey, bud.
He says, what's up, boys?
What's up? Yeah, your brother's not around yet. We're just waiting for him to come back from like I said, hitting yodel bombs.
We got his substitute right here sitting
Yeah.
with us.
It's the same thing.
Young
It's a
Chuck.
loud, obnoxious, scruffy-looking asshole in a box. Oh, jeez. You know, that's what I say, like, you know, when it comes to, like, May was mental health awareness. We didn't concentrate on that because I think everybody felt that their mental health was okay. You know, probably not. Some people deal with silent depression, and you don't know.
You'll never know.
You'll never know. Like when I tell the story about having anxiety when I went on my first audition, I was terrified. You know, I was terrified. I thought I was gonna shit my pants. You know, and looking back, if I did, what's the worst that could happen at that point? Then I could just go in the audition and everything would be fine. Fast forward now, well, not now. I don't get that in the beginning when I do my classes and all the other acting. I did look where the bathroom was and make sure I got there like half hour early. Here's like, if just in case I got to go and I get nervous, there's the toilet. And one audition, I felt that, come on, I'm like, yeah, I got to go to the bathroom, right? So I went one level up. I saw the bathroom. Cool, I got it. I went in the bathroom. I was done. It was kind of like stinky. There was no air freshener. Like I felt bad. I hurried up. I washed. I walked out quickly. Nobody saw me. I sat down. I fucked it up. I was reading my lines, and I look over, and this young girl goes in there. She immediately walks out. She was stunned. She had that look like, you know, that was death right there. And it was me. And I was like, I wanted to say I'm sorry, but as long as I don't say anything, they don't know it's me. But yeah, like, you know, I didn't know how to handle my anxiety. You know, I didn't like how to block it out and push it to the side until, and so that's just other
Sometimes
things.
it's hard. Sometimes it gets the best of you.
It does, I
was a firm believer. I didn't believe in this shit. I would be like, come on, snap out of it.
It's
but it's
but
true. I mean,
do you know that there's still people that say that, and they don't know, and they really truly don't know. You never know. And they say again, you never know. Do you walk in someone's shoes? You can't walk in someone's shoes. Even if I gave you my shoes and I told you what things have happened to me and where I went, you might be able to handle something different. You might not be nervous in the beginning, but all of a sudden scared after. I was scared before. Once I did it, I was like, what the fuck is this about? I was on a stage, and the first day I was nervous. I was like, I finished it. I did it. I was good. And I was like, geez, okay, you know what? I'm going to go to the gym. I don't need a nap. I can do this. Second night, come on. We do another performance. Holy shit. I get scared. I clam up. I forget. I'm blank. And so there's a thing that they tell you for theater that even if you don't know your lines, don't worry about it. The audience doesn't know what you have to say. They don't know what you have to say next.
Yeah.
So I started to walk.
Just don't stutter.
Just don't stutter. The woman in front of me, her phone starts ringing. And normally I would grab the phone and be like, hello, hey. But I was nervous. I look up, my cousin's recording me. I'm like, fuck, this is it. I put my hand, the choke sign, I'm ready to do this. Cut the lights. I was scared. I was like, I didn't want to disappoint, but now I'm disappointing me more than anyone else. I don't care if I disappoint the people in there. I don't know them. I don't give a shit. But I didn't want to disappoint me because I went through a lot from the first audition to the second audition. I learned that I had anxiety. I learned how to not just to deal with it, to put it off. My whole life I've battled depression. To say that there are times when I feel, and depression is a battle of self-worth. There are times that I feel that I'm not worth it, that I shouldn't exist. Like the world would be better if I didn't exist, and that's pain.
Yeah.
It's.
I think we all feel like that at some time. At some point.
Some people think sadness and depression are the same thing.
It's not.
It's not. Depression is, if I can say this to you, the highs before depression kicks in are like, what's up, baby? Oh my, we're going to go out. Let's have some fun. Follow me. We're going to have a great time. The lows of depression are absolute misery, sadness, and a lack of your own self-worth. Even if someone tells you, hey, I better see you tomorrow. We're going to do this. We're going to fight to this together. You still feel like the world is better off without you. And I would say, like, just last Friday, I had a little bit of a breakdown, and I really felt like, I I didn't want to be here anymore. Like, the best thing for everything in this world would be if I didn't exist. That's how sad I was. That's how sad I was inside, that I just didn't want to. I didn't want to do anything, I just wanted to stop and give up. And I just kind of kept moving around. And one of the things that I've learned also about myself is when it happens, I stop and I write down what I was thinking just before it happened. What happened to me that made me feel sad, and what happened and made me lean towards that sadness, and when the depression kicked in. And 9 times out of 10 it helps. What happened?
Yeah, I'm sorry. Anthony, I see your comment. Anthony says
Choco gets to talk. Thank you. You're right. We were just talking about this too.
Where the hell is Sean? Now paging Sean.
Page, yeah. Well, no, I mean, not that. I'm not trying to keep it. I'm not trying to keep it on the sad point.
Chucky, what you got to say, Chucky? Chucky say, "Fuck this."
He was like, "We'll kill him." What? Stab him. Make him pay, bitch. You're right. But you know what? The thing is, I've thought in my head that, taking my own life is my choice because it is my own life, but it's not your own choice. The other thing about it is you also affect other people. It's not you removing yourself, and then somebody goes, he's gone. Oh, all right, let's move on. Let's do something else. So that's the other thing that in that you get to learn is that it's not just about you, even though you feel that it's your choice, your vibe. Look at Anthony Bourdain. People don't understand why, but he didn't. He had no more. He had no more walls to put up to block his depression, and he did. And a lot of people would say that they don't understand. He was so successful. He had everything. That doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what good you have,
There's
But that's it on.
You know what's crazy that you say that. I was listening to. They had this. I don't know how the fuck. Like, how when you're watching a YouTube video and another video pops up right after. Boom.
Yeah. How what's funny about that though? You're watching like videos of like dudes get punched in a fast food restaurant, right? You watch 6 of them in a row, and all of a sudden a dog video goes in there. You're like, how the fuck does a dog video? What does that have to do with it?
Throw a curb right at you.
They're like, we don't want you to be we don't want you to be mad for too long. Here's a dog video. Sorry, go ahead.
They I'm not a Bieber fan, but they I was looking at the making of his Lonely song.
Okay.
It's fucking crazy.
Oh yeah.
Like, when you look at it,
excuse me,
the shit that like the video says it all, and I'm more than sure, like, it hit home with a lot of people, like, as far as like depression and various situations of your life, like you see, if you watch the video, Lonely, damn, it's like, yo, he wanted to play hockey, he never wanted to be a singer. His parents pushed him into it, and when you see it, it's a fucking badass video. I was like, it came up out of the blue.
I'll check it out. Like he's not one of those guys that's on my list of like listening to music, but
when it came on, I was like, oh, this fucking shit, I've been wearing it out.
Because when you're in that spotlight, right? And I can imagine you never get to not be in the spotlight, right? Like, so once you become successful,
like he said, his life is a glass house.
It's a glass house. No, once you become successful, you're never not going to be able to. I just want to be regular. Never. The minute you are recognized for what you do artistically, it's over. You will no longer ever. If you get into acting and music and art and you go, I don't want to be recognized, you're full of shit.
Yeah.
You're
in the wrong fucking.
You're in the wrong business. Go into armed robbery with masks, like stuff. Like, the whole point of it is you want to entertain. I get that. That's fantastic. You're a good singer. Lady Gaga wears meat, right? And they're like, oh, that's crazy. Of course it's crazy. That's what she wants it to be.
Yeah.
That's what makes it.
Absolutely.
She didn't accidentally get a meat dress. She was like, I need to do something that's my spiritual essence. I'm going to put bacon around me. Dogs were like, what? Is that bacon? That bitch got bacon? Oh my, no, like, no. But you don't, and so I can imagine also not being able to ever be anything other than that character. So like Robert De Niro. He hates people to spot him and point him and take pictures. There's a classic one where he was crossing the street and somebody standing next to him took a picture of him. And he crossed the street and he turned around as he was walking away and he said, hey, that's not nice. That's not nice. You hear me? That's not nice what you did. Don't be a fucking asshole. But you're also a celebrity walking through the street.
I was in I was working, and I remember I was on a flight on the way back from Puerto Rico, and I crossed paths with a celebrity who was sitting next to me.
Oh yeah, who was that?
And I don't want to say his name because I'm on nice terms right now with him. But he knows who he is. And
Christopher Walken. No.
I told him. I told him. I was like, yo, when I met you, like recently, they reintroduced me to him, and he was like, oh shit, I do remember you. And I was like, like the person I was with, I was escorting somebody, and he was being a dick to him. He was being, annoying. He was like, hey, oh shit, I seen you in this movie.
And he's cuffed?
Well, I wasn't trying to go there. Yeah, but yeah, and he's like, what the fuck? So the actor was like, really annoyed by the shit.
Yeah.
And then he got further annoyed when I was like, you mind if I take a picture with you? And he was like, yeah, but he gave me his picture. Fuck it, you know.
Right.
It is
Yeah,
what it
just
is.
go ahead. Yeah.
And then, you know, I got to meet him again at a family function, and he was like, "Oh shit, I do remember you." And, you know,
Yeah, after 4 times it should, and plus
it's like,
remembering what you would.
motherfucker.
Yeah, like I think New Yorkers are not impressed by celebrity, right?
Keanu Reeves takes the train.
Yeah. Well, there's a like Tom Hanks takes the train. Like there are a bunch of people that do, because they refuse to be the people that takes a car,
Isolated,
right?
yeah.
And like I have to breathe.
Yeah.
But the celebrity that goes, I'm sick and tired of people sticking their camera phones and all this and all that. Before camera phones, people would just stop.
Mm-hmm.
I said that like so sensitive. People just stopped. And they were like, excuse me, Sarah, you're great in that movie. And they take a picture. But you didn't become a celebrity because you didn't want anybody to know. Otherwise, you would do the whole show in a fucking mask.
Shit in a fucking wig.
Right? Like you'd wear an outfit. Disguise.
Yeah.
Like Prince knew that 1, he could make good music. 2, he's a sexy motherfucker, and he didn't care.
Yeah,
Also, he was
no
this.
fucks given.
He was this big. He was 5'7", so in high heels. Yeah, but all right, those that when you hear people hear celebrities or athletes and all these artists and they get depressed, people go, "What the fuck are you depressed about? You're a celebrity. You have money. You have this. You have that." But is it everything? Your mental balance is still, is key, and you're never gonna have it as long as people are trying to steal your trash and look for your identity and sneak pictures of you in the nude walking your dog.
Mm-hmm.
Which, by the way, that was Keanu Reeves. He was walking his dog nude in the neighborhood in his boots. No,
No, he was.
no.
no,
I
what
just
the
he's
fuck?
starting another rumor. We did speaking of Keanu Reeves, we were in the city, and it was a couples. I think it was 8 of us, 8 or 10 of us, and it was supposed to be we were told it was a murder mystery. So what you do is they pick you up. They send you to these bars, and each bar you go to, there's somebody designated to give you clues, and you can have a drink, give you clues, and go on to the next bar. And so they give you the address, and you keep going to the next place, and then these actors are paid to give you clues, and you go and know that. So it turns out it wasn't a murder mystery, right? So we're getting these clues, and we're going about it. We walk out of the bar, and who walks in front of us? But it's Keanu Reeves. Now, he's not a social butterfly. The minute he saw us, he took his phone out and he put in his face. And it was kind of funny because one of the people we were with, she was like, ah, ah. And it was like, I looked over and it was like, and then one of the women who just got married like a couple of weeks ago was like, Keanu, I just got married, but I love you. He keeps walking. And I just stopped. It was in the middle of the street, right? And I was like, dude, she just confessed her love. The least you could do is say thank you. And he stopped. And he turned around and he was like, you're right. And he said, thank you very much. He goes, I love you too. And but we had Crazy that was like this. Like he took off. Spiritually, he ran away. But yeah, I did call him out, but he turned around and he was like, you're right. It's not that hard, not that difficult to just be nice. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's not that difficult to reach out and say,
The
hey,
fans are
thank
what
you.
puts you on top.
Right. But he's not a bad guy. Like, you don't hear anything bad about him.
Another one that I want to say is that I hear good things about
Who's that?
is actually Robert Downey Jr. Like, I'm a big Iron Man fan.
Okay.
And I heard that he lives really close by on the island somewhere. And he don't mind being in the community. Like, he goes out and about in the community, goes shopping, and like if you recognize him, he'll take pictures with you. He's really into his community.
Look, that guy has been beaten,
Through shit
robbed,
and back.
drugged, in jail. He's a child actor who
Lost it all and came back.
right,
yeah.
just lost it all twice. You know what I mean? And so the
Humbled him out.
reincarnation is there. And then you also got to feel bad for like kid actors who never know. Like, some are grounded. Tobey Maguire, Leonardo DiCaprio, they seem like grounded people. Like the people that they surrounded themselves with wouldn't let them go too far. But then you got a lot of people that were just so fucked up and probably, again, depression. And it was easier to be on drugs and high or drunk and tipsy than it is to battle your depressions. Mm-hmm. I think I would say it was probably somewhere like my early to mid 20s. And I would just get like, when I would get sad, I would go out and I would drink and I would binge drink and I would get that buzz fast. So then I wouldn't deal with that. I wouldn't deal with what was sad until like the next day. So at least I would get that one day where I could just like a Saturday or a Friday after work, and I would just mellow out, and I wouldn't deal with anything. Obviously, 2 days later, it would kick in and be like, after you're all hungover, you're like, you know. And so I used to do that, and I don't do that shit anymore. But not the binge drinking I do. No, I'm joking, because drinking is not fun and games. But especially if you're sad, like you shouldn't go to it. So there's a lot of people. We're talking about celebrities. Why? There's a lot of people that aren't celebrities that have to deal with this regularly, you know, and they don't get the means of the money to go to a rehab or something like that. Yeah. And the drugs make you feel better, which is unfortunate. But drugs do really make you feel better. They make you feel good. So. Extremely good. Oh my God. Yeah, I mean, I've never other than smoking weed, I was like, it's really nothing else I've ever tried because I never really had an interest in that stuff. But obviously now I'm on the verge of celebrity, so I might as well do it and go to rehab and then come out and let my celebrity drop and build it back up. Oh, motherfucker. Holy smokes. Look at these shades, huh? Jesus. You got the ruby quartz deflectors on. You're gonna
pick up my new glasses though.
You're gonna fill in for Don Cheadle?
Yeah.
They're gonna need, they have a TV show on Disney called like Suits of Armor about all these different people.
Hold up. Talking about Disney. Did you see, are you on that Loki?
Yeah, so Loki's supposed to be gender fluid. You know, his character's supposed to be, he could be gay, he could be straight, he could even be feminine. You don't know. So they wrote an article that they believe that the character's was supposed to be like a gender fluid character, which is interesting that they would do that. But Marvel is stepping up to the plate right now. I mean, through Disney stepping up to the plate with all these Marvel things. Yeah, like, I tell you what, man, there's a lot of good shows out there. There's a lot of really good shows out there, but not a lot of people like and appreciate, like what the Marvel movies and who was it? I have an actress friend, and she goes to she used to go to a lot of Q&As when they were going on. And it could be like Black Panther and all some of these and the Avengers. And she would go to those. But she didn't like Star Wars. She didn't like Star Trek. She didn't watch the Avengers. And I was like, you probably don't appreciate it. Like, you probably don't appreciate it, how good the Avengers are.
You're missing, yeah.
Because it's not just that they're comic book heroes. Heroes. Comic book heroes. But the stories are pretty good. Because also Hollywood has run out of good fucking stories. That's the other problem. We're getting into some good scripts now. Like, there's a movie that was a TV show that was on, I think it's Amazon. It's called Them.
What's it about?
So it incorporates a little like supernatural at the same time right after the World War II and like race issues. So like Compton used to be like all white, and they had like black families move in, African American families move in, and they're showing like racial tensions going on. And different neighborhoods. So it's like, it's got a supernatural feel plus the racial tensions that like feel like they're plucked right out of a real story. So it's a show called Them. Is really good. Holy shit. Scary. A little bit of humor, a little bit of crazy involved in it. Like, it's a family that moves cross country to California, and he's the husband, African American husband with an African American wife. He and 2 kids. So think of like Obama, if he moved from North Carolina to California, and he took his wife and kids, and he moved into an all-white neighborhood. He spoke well and had a great job as an engineer, but nobody wanted him there. You know, kind of like becoming president and nobody wanting you to be there. Anyway, that's a really good one. Them, and then there's a lot of bad ones. There's a lot of movies that just put out there. Like I can't even give you the names, but I do watch bad movies. Like you it's
give them a chance also.
Yeah, just because like I'm not in like let's say it's later on at night or at work. And it's like 1 o'clock in the morning, and I don't want to watch a really good show and get into it, and then and have to shut it off. I want to watch it all the way through, so I'll watch like what seems like a bad movie, And I can't give you the names, but I can. They did a remake of Death Wish. The original Death Wish starred Charles Bronson.
I didn't even know they made a remake of.
Yeah, so Charles Bronson is probably one of the most badass mofos you've ever seen in your life. The story about him is not only was he badass as character, but legit, he was so badass that you wouldn't play pranks on him. Like people were afraid to play pranks on him because he was so serious that they were like, he might kill me. And so nobody wanted to die. Like if you ever see, there's a great picture of him walking with Jill Ireland, and he's like in his 60s and she's like in her 20s, but he's sculpted, he's cut, he's jacked. Anyway, after Death Wish 6 and then Bronson passing away, 20 years later, they decided to do a remake. And they did this remake with Bruce Willis. Before you go any further, just hearing that should make you go, nah, burn it. But I decided to watch it anyway. And then I still wanted to burn it, but it wasn't physical. It wasn't physical enough. It wasn't a disc. It was Amazon Prime. And then I would have to get rid of Amazon Prime just because they had that shitty movie. It was so bad. It was awful. And again, I watch awful shows and movies because I just want, I want to see what my competition is. And
you ever watch Designated Survivor?
Yes.
I actually got a little hooked to it.
All right, so cool. The beginning, before they stopped it and rerouted, the beginning was good. Yeah. They really had a good idea. And then it started, there's a little bit of traveling that they went with it that kind of like took it into a different direction, which ruined it. Because I thought they really had something good here. Yep. Other shows like that, like
what did they switch up? Did they switch up, the person writing the storylines for them? I mean, they switched something. They did something.
Yeah, so they switched
behind the scenes happened.
So going back a few years, there were 2 TV shows. One of them I remember the name. I don't remember the second one. Maybe it'll come to me. And this is what the same thing that happened. It was a TV show called Flash Forward, and supernatural things and going on with the feds and things that happened before happening now and predicting all this stuff. Anyway, so.
Designated Survivor pretty much it was like I recently started watching it.
So how far are you in?
DC mayor's asking for help.
Okay. So this TV show Flash Forward, it's starting to tell this story and it's chaotic, but it's organized chaos. But then somebody writing it decided organized chaos was not good, that it needs to be full on blown corn maze crazy. And it's all over the place with no exits. And they were like, they had to stop it, redo the storyline, and then bring it back. But they brought it back and it was even worse. It was like they tried to clean it up. Here's the other one. So years ago, there was when Law and Order was shut down here, they created a Law and Order LA. Okay?
That was trash.
It was trash. They could have capitalized on it. Okay? They made Detective A corrupt in day one, so that you couldn't hide his corruption. Okay, halfway through, like I think it was like 7 episodes, they stopped it, the production, rewrote it, and after when they came back, people were like, fuck that. Same thing with Designated Survivor. Okay, when they stopped it to rewrite it, they fucking destroyed it. you know? And it could have been a good show. A good 3-4 years, maybe 5. I don't know if we would really get 5 years out of it, but at least 3, you know? And they ruined it. It was awful, awful. I think one of the worst movies I said this on a previous episode, but one of the worst movies I have ever witnessed, ever watched was Mall Cop.
Yeah, I don't even think I even watched it.
Awful. But to think that it was so bad that they made Mall Cop 2. Like, just to say,
Well,
like,
it's like Cable Guy. You ever seen Cable Guy?
yeah.
I'm not a fan.
No, but I didn't. I'm okay. Say Cable Guy was Cable. I like Cable Guy. Oh, Billy. And you know,
And another hard part that I find pretty difficult to watch is in Designated Survivor, Kumar. I'm like, what the fuck? Ain't you supposed to be getting high?
yeah, he was supposed to get high. We need like a White Castle. Kumar go to White Castle 7.
Just looking at him trying to take him serious. I can't. It's hard.
Well, Obama had designated him for like a cabinet position, not a cabinet position or a secondary cabinet position, something not important, but important enough that he gave up acting to take up this job, whatever it was, and maybe it was in the entertainment business leading into it. And then all of a sudden he pops up on the show, and it was like, it's time to come back to acting, and it was like, no. You never should have left. And once you left, don't come back. Because you lose it. Like, cause now you're looking at him as a suit.
Yeah.
And you liked him better. I don't want him forever to play a stoner. But, you know, look at Cheech and Chong.
You took the words out of my mouth.
Cheech and Chong, the greatest comedy combo ever.
The greatest high duo.
Ever. Okay? But Cheech, he could do some serious shit. Chong, not so much. Chong has his own bong. I mean, that's Chong bong. Come get some Chong bong. He's crushing some like Himalayan salt, special gunpowder weed, right? But those guys were funny. And even though they could get serious, they always went back. They always went back to that Cheech and Chong stuff and that laugh stuff because they knew that was their bread and butter. Mm-hmm. I don't see those like guys doing the same. Because one's in political office and the other one is Sulu from Star Trek. So,
yeah, true.
Which is really, the fact that he's Sulu was great, but he's Korean and the original Sulu is Japanese. So I think they just went for an Asian character to play Sulu since he's an Asian character, an Asian actor to play the Asian character. Yeah, but like those shows like that, they stop, they never, and then they redo, it never works out.
Yeah, it doesn't gain traction the way.
You can't. Like, recently they did another Law and Order called Organized Crime. Now, I don't know how long that's going to last because unless they go in after all different kind of organized crime in there. I know that the title should say it like plainly, but it doesn't. Like, whatever, the Italian mob or the Russian mobs and all that stuff. But like COVID stopped it. They shot 13 episodes. They threw the episodes out there. They force fed it. They're like, here, it's not too bad. And then they're like, all right, we're going to finish the production and bring the rest of it. I don't know if I don't know if you're going to like it in the end. Like you really have to like the idea of where they're going with it completely. Excuse me. So, I mean, it's hard because TV and movies, like we don't go to theaters that much anymore, right? I mean, they do serve alcohol in there. So I went to see The Joker in the theater, which is one of those movies.
Are you ready to go out?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I'm ready to go out. Okay. It's
still a little iffy. I'm like,
I mean, see, I get it. I get
that.
some people like that, but you know what? Like, just like, yeah. People are still with the shaming and the mask and all that shit, which I find funny is like, because it worked in their favor, they're like, look, I told you not to wear the mask. Ha! Fuck you. But you wear a mask, you get up, you sit down, take the mask off. Like, you could go the same route. I could tell you that it was different, just a different feel, because yesterday when I got off the train, let's say 200 people got off the train with me. Okay, today when I got off the train for work, it was like 500 people. Like there's just more and more people out there.
Growing, yeah.
And everybody was just waiting for them to say, New York City's open. Here it is. They told us July. They got us a couple of weeks earlier. They were like, April Fool's in June. Get out there and, the city's open. Let's go. No more restrictions. Perfect. That's how I want it. I want it back open. I want people making money. Stop making excuses that it's the administration or this one or that one, that politics has anything to do with it anymore. Look, the governor opened up the city and the state because he has a wedding to go to in 2 weeks. His daughter's getting married, and he's like, there's no way that I'm not going to have my 300 friends come see me at my daughter's wedding. No way. So he had to open it up. Whatever. I mean, it's good. You feel like you're not ready?
Hey, to each his own. It's like, I'm cool.
What is it like? Is it that being around people with the chance that they are like,
I had the
creepy
shit.
crawly infected?
No, I had the shit.
Right.
I had the shit.
I think we all,
like
like
last year. I got it. And it is what it is. What it is. You can't. You could try to stop it, and then how are you really gonna stop it? In all honesty.
How?
When it's your time, it's your time. You're gonna get the fucking thing.
Well, so what we believed by the science was that if we can get 7 out of 10 people vaccinated, that herd immunity will kick in, because the 30% that is 3 out of 10 really don't have anybody to give it to.
Mm-hmm.
So even if you get it and you're asymptomatic, you can't give it to anyone because no one else. So it eventually will just dissipate on its own.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
That's one form of the science there, though.
So some next shit come out, right?
Well, that's what we're waiting for. We wait for the next stuff. Like, I just want to get rid of this first. Like, first we got rid of the flu.
Like, what happened to the beetles? We were expecting a swarm of fucking killer bees.
We had
and
killer
shit.
beetles. We had fire on the way. California was on fire. All of California was on fire.
It went out.
We had murder hornets.
The murder hornets.
The murder hornets were on their way. What else did we have? We had
COVID took care of all of them.
The plague came in. We listen. Here's something crazy. The flu, which kept getting worse and worse and worse and worse. We basically eradicated the flu in America.
Yeah, technically, yeah.
By people being fucking clean. Get that? Clean. By people washing their hands, wearing masks, not spreading, the saliva and germs, not touching each other's pens. And I don't know who's touching your pen, but if you want to call it a pen and they're touching it, like hand sanitizer. I mean, I do have to say this, and it's like an old joke now, but when the shit hit the fan, the first thing people ran for was toilet paper. There were so many other things to grab first. But if the boat is going down, the Titanic is going down, don't grab fucking toilet paper.
Your house is on fire.
Your house is on fire. What do you need don't grab toilet paper. I was like, hand sanitizer and toilet paper. The fuck is the matter with you people? That's because everybody was dirty.
What else can they get?
What else?
What else was sold out? Like, do you remember? Like,
just
let me see,
so
toilet paper.
Toilet paper.
Oh, alcohol.
Soap.
Gone.
Oh, but no. But the powers that be said, all right, if you're going to be stuck home together with your wife, your girlfriend, your kids, you could go get alcohol. You could walk into a liquor store.
No. I'm talking about rubbing alcohol.
Oh, I turn that shit into alcohol too. You go up to the rednecks country and rednecks will teach you how to turn rubbing alcohol into alcohol. Moonshine, Mo.
Moonshine, yeah.
Moonshine, Mo. No, but I mean, so on that note, that's the crazy shit. But so you still feel a little bit fair because other people are dirty? That was the lesson you got out of it? They're still dirty. There's dirty people out there, and they might have it. They might carry it. Because again, so what I was saying with the 7 out of 10, but we're more likely 6 out of 4 and 5 out of 5 because we have so many people that don't want to take it, right? They're defiant against that. And you also have people that don't want to tell you they got it because they don't want to be shamed after they got it. Mm-hmm. So I mean, I have the faith. I have the faith in myself, the people that I'm with, that'll be taken care of. I am not mixing too much with other people where hugging, touching, embracing, except for the people that I know the closest. It's not random touching of people like it used to be. We used to go out and you could randomly touch people's shoulders, backs, butts, pockets, wallets, and nobody would be. Now you're like, did you just give me something? Did you just give me COVID? 16, 19, 22? So I'm okay with it. You'll get there. You go out a few times, you'll get used to it. You'll get more used to it. The first time some drunk, you're sitting at the table with your family and some drunk kind of like stumbles over to your table, you'll reach over and start protecting everybody and grabbing and pulling out that shield. That Captain America shield. No, but, I think we get past it. We could move on, We're going to go to the movies. The last movie I went to see was The Joker. I went to see it in the theater. Mm-hmm. And it was fun to see it in the theater because I don't think I could have appreciated it the same way on a small screen, on a big screen. Like in the next 4 years we have, the next 10 years we have 6 Avatar movies. So, I mean, you can't see those Avatar movies without seeing them in the theater.
You like Avatar?
No.
Neither.
It was okay. There wasn't something amazing about the technology. It wasn't something so 3D. I was like, wow, they invented something that no one has ever seen. No, I didn't feel that way. I wasn't impressed by it. I did find it funny that when we left, there was an older couple behind us, definitely in like their 70s, maybe 80s. And the husband, he grabs the wife's arm and he's like, I gotta say, it's a great movie, but I could have done without that 3D because I guess he couldn't see as it is, so he needed his glasses, and he's putting the 3D on, so it's still fuzzy, so he could barely see it. And I was like, that was great. The old guy who can't see had to take off his glasses that he could see with to put a pair of glasses that were fuzzy, and he couldn't see with them. I was like, just go watch it at home. I wasn't impressed by that movie. James Cameron has like a few hits. And we pat another guy that you pat on the back and be like, oh my God, you're so amazing. And then he comes out with another movie and it's shit. But we have 6 more Avatar movies coming. Or 4 more.
What movie you want to see come back?
Come back?
Or that is coming out and you can't wait to see?
I don't have one. I don't have a special movie unless I'm in it.
You wouldn't want to see like a sequel of one of your favorite movies?
Sequels always suck.
Yeah.
Name 1, 2 that was ever you were like, oh, 2 was fucking good. Then what, it was like 2%?
Yeah.
3%? Like, sequels suck. I will say this, like Rocky 1 was good. Rocky 2 was good. Rocky 3 was good. Rocky 4,
It was like watching the stock exchange.
Right. Rocky 5, then Rocky 6 we got Viagra. And that was like, what was Rocky 6 was Balboa. When he fought Tarver, his character. What is he? He was 60-something years old. I want to get back into the ring. So it's very rare that you'll find a movie that's good,
Like fucking Rambo. They have Police Academy with 1,000 sequels.
Police Academy 6.
You know what I want to see them phase out, and
I'd like to see a remake of Police Academy.
Oh yeah,
I'd like to see them try that.
Yeah, I can see. Yeah,
I can see them try that.
More modernized.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I ain't thinking about that. Yeah,
I wasn't till now. I wasn't thinking about it till now. And now that I thought about it,
I would like to see them phase out. Fast and Furious. I'm sick of it.
Fast and Furious 7?
They're like, I don't know, up to 13 or some shit like that.
Well, it's 9.
Bro. I think they're done. They ran out of fingers.
Yeah, well, did you see the plot line on this one?
It's to the point they're in space.
Yeah, so if we can get the space arm, I got to get to that. That's fucking great. But so here's Fast and the Furious. It's about speed, guns, and they get John Cena to be Diesel's brother, and it's like, did they talk about him before? Like, it was like in season 4, did they say Dom's brother? I don't know. And so I don't really, but again, I don't really care. Like, when I watch those movies, I'm looking at, like, I don't even know what I'm looking at. I think I'm drunk, and it doesn't even matter who's in it, what they're doing, who's wearing clothes or not. It doesn't really matter.
I think I gave up on Fast and Furious after like part 2, part 3. I was done.
I think it was the last one I saw was 4, I think.
Yeah,
Whatever one where he races the car inside the building, and in Abu Dhabi, and he jumps through the window into the building on the other side. That was the last one I saw.
the last one I seen was when he was locked up and they had to spring him out of jail.
Oh, isn't that with The Rock? Yeah.
I was like, I'm done.
Yeah, I didn't see that one.
Game over.
Yeah, it's The Rock, dude.
What was the name? Oh, why don't they remake Tango and Cash? Like, they're remaking a lot of old movies. So, like, I'm trying to think of what remake will be coming out.
The problem with remakes is that
New storyline, or
you need a new
veer off?
storyline.
Yeah.
And if you change it, here's the thing. If you change it too much, the purists that still love something like that are like, that's wrong. That didn't happen. Look at X-Men. They called it Dr.
Fucking
Jean Grey. Punisher. Right? So the purists go, oh, same like in sports. The purists don't want to change, but you have to change it to make it something more modern. Tango and Cash would be fun. Tango and Cash, but here you have to make it serious. That's the one thing about Tango and Cash was that it was serious. Even though it was campy, it was serious.
Yeah.
I mean, that could be one. I mean, you could remake any movie that had Stallone in it, except for Rambo and Rocky.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like he remade Rocky into Creed. So he's a trainer now. It's Rocky 16. Like, he's not done. You know, I'm not going to make any more Rambos. Well, in the last Rambo, he blew up a cartel and he survived. You think the rest of the cartel isn't coming over? I mean, that was, I don't know about, did you see the last Rambo?
No.
So
I was like, nah.
will it spoil you if I told you what happened?
I don't even know. I gotta be really bored or.
His niece went to Mexico, and she got kidnapped and drugged, and she died of an OD, and I think that's the sequence. And so he went looking for her, and the cartel guys beat him up. And I was like, that's already bullshit, okay? Because it's Rambo. We know you can't beat up Rambo. So he beat him up. He kind of plants where he's from. They go after him and I'm skipping some parts of it. It's the whole movie. He goes into Mexico. They beat him up. They find out where he is. They're coming after him. He blows up some shit, and they come after him. So they come to his ranch. They get to his ranch, and he has the whole ranch rigged with things that blow up and guns and underground tunnels, and he just fucks them up like Rambo style. He kills the whole cartel on his farm, blows up his farm, and then just rides off into the sunset. Like I'm saying, you can't remake that shit anymore. Like, you can't remake Rambo with anything but less than Rambo.
Yeah.
Like, you can't put anybody in that role. So you know that's just one guy and that's it. Who else? Like, what else can you do? Remakes. I mean, never remake a sports movie. Just add to it. Hopefully you could help it. Like, think of the movie Slapshot. Did you ever see it? Great hockey movie.
Hockey. Oh yeah.
Paul
Yep.
Newman.
Yeah. Yep.
The Hanson brothers.
Of course. Yes.
Violence. Nudity. They made a Slapshot 2. And it was like, why? But then they made a Slapshot 3. And it was like, what it basically is a fuck you to the rest of the world. Because nobody's watching it. Nobody's watching a 3 of it. So it's already bad that you went to a 2 than you went to 3. Death Wish, the original, amazing. The second one, holy shit, crazy and graphic.
What do you
Wish
like?
3?
Do you like Bad Boys?
Yes, I liked Bad Boys. I did like 2, and that was it.
Did you watch 3? No.
No.
I think it was good.
I
think it
wouldn't
was
say
good.
that.
I'm upset that they waited so long.
But the 2 with the Taya Leone and that shit at the end, like, it was stupid. So, like, could they have stopped at 1? Yeah, they really could have. They could have just stopped and been like, hey,
Man.
it's done. And you're like, you're right. Bravo. Okay, move on. You know, like, sports movies are good. But like Major League, great movie. Major League 2, no, not great. Major League 3, back to the
The
minors.
season's gone.
Fuck you. Again, that's what it keeps coming. That phrase, it keeps coming back to you. Like, it's you know that people are gonna watch it because they're fans of it. Like, if you like that baseball movie, you'll watch it anyway,
You'll
even
watch
though you
anyone
know
in.
it's gonna suck. Like, and suck's a bad word. But let's say you know it's not gonna be good. You know, they don't. You know, like, except for Rocky, look at all the other boxing movies. They don't make a part 2 to them. You know, because they wouldn't do anything. Only one franchise gets to make 8 movies, and the rest of them just have to.
The Karate Kid fucking.
Now look at this. The Karate Kid did a Karate Kid 2, which was like
I stopped.
right, but he did a Karate Kid 3, and the little known Karate Kid 3 was awful. But then they had to reboot it, right? But first they gave us a female Karate Kid. They gave us Hilary Swank as the Karate Kid. Okay, and no good. Then they said, let's change that. Let's make Jackie Chan Mr. Miyagi. And we'll have the characters go to China. See, they brought back the fucking virus. Okay? And it didn't work out, right?
Yeah,
it didn't work out. It wasn't because it was Jaden Smith. Well, maybe that's why it didn't work out.
I
But
just
it-
couldn't. I didn't.
Okay? But so what they did was they made the TV show Cobra Kai. And what it did in this show was made the good guy look bad and the bad guy look good. And that, my friend, made that TV show so good. And if you're not watching Cobra Kai, oh, you're missing out on some really, really good stuff right here. Good guy, bad guy, good guy, bad guy. It's so good. Cobra Kai is so good. And that was a YouTube production. They did that their own. That's their script and storyline. And then obviously Netflix went out and bought it for a ridiculous amount of money. But these small list of characters that they put out there in these storyline, it expands. They're at season 3. Like, I think they're going on season 4 too. It's like, it's so good. But they had to make a TV show out of it to make it good. So it's hard. Like, you know, it's hard to watch movies by other people's expectations. It's hard to watch movies by other people's recommendations. So a lot of people went to see movies because they heard other people say it was a good movie or it was a great movie. And then it's up to that person to go and see it.
I did that.
What
Like,
movie? And you were disappointed?
No, actually, I was. I loved it. It's one of my favorite movies.
Which one?
Heat.
Heat.
I was like, what the fuck? Like,
Heat's weirdly an original.
and when I went to see it, I was like, yo, I loved it.
Heat was so good because of the good guy, bad guy. It gave us Pacino and De Niro at the same time, which was, you could have done anybody. You could put anybody in there. It didn't matter. But Val Kilmer, Sizemore, De Niro as the bad crew, they were so good.
Man.
They were so good. You know, Pacino, the stepdad, heartbroken when his stepdaughter tried to kill herself, and then the chase on that at the end, like, that was so good. Heat was one of those.
Yeah.
It was long. It's long, but it's so good. It's a very good movie. I think there was like one movie that I could watch. I did probably for about 10 years in a row, watched every year, was The Godfather. And right now, if it was playing on in the background, I could glance at the scene and then tell you what's going to happen next. Like, I mean, watched it that much. But I also engrossed myself into what the characters were doing.
I think mine's that I could watch is Casino.
See, it's
Love
that.
Casino.
See, for me, The Godfather's about family, right? So you watch it at Christmas time. But yeah, look. So here are the characters, and so when you're watching, to give an example, if you remember The Godfather, there's a scene where Luca Brasi's sitting in a chair, and he's practicing his lines. Your daughter is a masculine. Thank you, Godfather, and he's practicing that. The real actor wasn't a real actor. He was like a former enforcer, a bouncer. He was really practicing those lines, and they recorded him. So sometimes the camera's rolling to catch these little moments. So people thought he was prepared. He wouldn't prepare for it. They caught him doing that, and they said, keep rolling. So it wasn't even supposed to be something that was scripted. It was just accidental. Yeah. So here he goes practicing. Thank you, Godfather, for allowing me to come to your daughter's wedding, and may their child be a masculine child. Like, and I'm missing a few lines in there. But that was just practice. And they recorded him practicing, and it became a significant part because he was so nervous. This is a guy who was fearless. He was so nervous that when he goes into the wedding to thank the Godfather, who he's a hitman for. Yeah, but when characters are, when you watch movies, yes, character A and character B are telling the story, but look at character C in the back, doing something. Watch a movie that they're in the movie theater and the usher is picking up garbage. Like, those are the parts of the movie that make it more realistic than the actors, than the main actors that you're watching. Excuse me. It's the driver in the car on the other side who's listening to music or bobbing their head, right? Makes it normalizes what's going on to be that in the show. And not so much, I don't know this. I'm just saying this as not as an actor. I'm just saying that as a fan of it. Like that you start to like pick it apart, pick a good show apart and watch it. Like what makes a movie a good movie? Sometimes it's like, I think we said it before, it's like the casting. Everybody, every actor. Well, if you're going to do a movie about prison, I want people that look like they're in prison. True. I don't want like a bunch of Wall Street guys, sensitive guys. Well, Wall Street guys would be in prison. Yeah. So yeah, they would have to be there. So those corrupt fucks too. But that's what makes it good. And I think it's like sequels to things suck. The Godfather 2 was a great movie, okay? Godfather 3 is an awful fucking disaster. Now, I may have cursed today probably about 6 times, but that's only they required it, so I don't really apologize for it. I'm just throwing it out there. But Godfather 3 was awful. It was a disaster. It was worthless. And do you know that there is a script and a storyline to write Godfather 4 with these extra things? And I read the book on the information that's supposed to lead us to Godfather 4. And I'm thankful that it's not made in a movie, because I would be forced to watch it because I watched the first 3 and I know who the characters are. I would be forced to watch the 4th one. I have no choice but to watch that 4th movie. Anybody who likes The Godfather would be forced to watch it. Anybody who hates Godfather 3, like myself, still watches it. Because you can't watch 1 and 2 without 3. Like, you can watch Rocky 1 and never watch Rocky 2 or 3. Like, you can and never see it. Star Wars, okay? 12 movies later and a TV show and 2 TV shows later. So
I'm lost.
So I like everyone else. You watch the first one they gave us, right? A New Hope. Empire Strikes Back, Return of the Jedi. Then they went and they gave us those 3 movies in the beginning. Then they came back and they gave us those 2 movies at the end. But there's a story they wanted to tell. So they made a TV show, animated TV show to shorten it, called Clone Wars. Now, when you watch this, like I did, and there's 8 seasons, but they're quick episodes, you find out that if I'm spoiling it for people, at this point, I don't really care. But that the stormtroopers, before they became stormtroopers, started to develop their own identities. In Clone Wars, they all started to develop their own identities. So once they enacted that code 66, they were all dummies. They're all just robots doing the same thing. They formed their own identities. These clones formed their own identities, became consciously thinking of their next move, and just like that, they took it away. And then there's like, there's a couple of other ones to tell the rest of the story. But that movie's this big. Everybody's watched all of them,
I haven't watched all of them. I watched what they gave us.
All the movies?
Yeah.
Did you watch all the movies?
Everything before about 2000.
Everything before 2000. So you haven't watched the last two?
All our original shit.
Yeah, but you haven't watched the last two? Last two are really good. The last one is
I'm
really
lost.
good.
Like the shit with going back in time and like fast forward on the timeline and rewind. I'm like, damn, like,
So you watch the beginning, right? With that has Liam Neeson, Ewan McGregor.
Empire Strikes Back, all that.
Okay, so the first three that they gave us was New Hope, Empire Strikes Back, Return of the Jedi, right? So you know what happens there with Darth Vader and Return of the Jedi, right? Then they give us the three movies in the beginning.
Before that.
Right?
That are before that in the timeline.
Yeah, before what's there the first they're
leading up to what they gave us.
Before that, right? So you watch those three.
No, I haven't watched the new ones.
No, but there's two more later.
I've watched just the
Just the first three?
That's it.
That's it.
And Ewoks, that's it.
That's it. That's what you watch?
That's it. I can't grasp that CGI and all that. It messes
it tells
me
you
up.
it tells you the story of how Darth Vader
became evil,
was becoming evil, and the atrocities that were developed through him. But it also, what it doesn't tell you in this, that Jedi's escaped, and you won't know that unless you watch Clone Wars. And then Clone Wars leads you to now, right? The now time of the timeline, the last two movies, is that once you get through, like Rogue One is a great movie. It's a standalone movie that tells a story of how the rebels stole the plans that they used in remember when they destroyed the Death Star?
Yeah.
Right? There's a movie called Rogue One. It tells a story how these rebels stole that information. The last two movies tells the continuation of the family genes with Luke Skywalker's nephew, right? And I think the last two were pretty good. But yeah, it's a long story, just like the story we had about it was a long story. Like we just talked long about it, and people, if there was anybody listening, they were like,
do you think they're gonna do that with Marvel with Endgame? Like I already see it happening.
Yeah, I
the
think
TV
so.
shows is already like
Because the TV parts of the TV show are going to lead you to another movie, another Avengers movie. Maybe not the same Avengers, but another Avengers movie, which would be the point, right? Wouldn't it be the point to take the storylines, give them their own, and then put them together, and then give them their own? Like, I'm a huge X-Men fan, right? But you can't really redo it. Like, it just doesn't make any sense to do more from there because they inserted different pieces of it. Now they created the New Mutants. Yeah. Which is good for them as a story, but it's like, when you run out of story, this is what happens when you run out of original storylines. You have to do it with the comic books.
What are they gonna do with Chad Boswick now that he's missing?
Missing?
That he's gone.
I mean, he passed. He's
You know
not.
what I mean? He's missing in the cast, but passed away.
I think they said that there's some stuff that have the CGI to use to finish it off through dialogue, which they always have extra dialogue from the original, from 1 and 2. But he wasn't. I think he was like halfway through 2, and so you won't be able to replace him unless you replace him the whole movie. You won't be able to replace him halfway. Wow. I don't think they have enough
footage. Yeah.
Like, you remember that? What's that animated movie about the cars? I think it's called Cars. Little Cars.
Mm.
And Paul Newman was the voice of one of the characters. And I think they did 1, 2, and 3. And so recently they put out a 3. The crazy thing about it is that they were recording Paul Newman. So Paul Newman had dialogue, sitting down, talking before he was doing the voiceover work for both movies of just him talking about certain things and making jokes. And so they had hours and hours of dialogue that they were able to place into his car just because they were recording. So I don't know if they have something like that for Chad Boswick, like they They like, recorded dialogue to attach to his imagery. So, I mean, that's cool. What's up? You're confused.
Mm-mm.
Is it about me? Did I
No.
do something? So I mean, that's pretty much, that's it on like the movies. Is like every time like I didn't think I'll tell you what. No, it's not. I didn't think the Joker was going to be this good, and Joaquin Phoenix was the guy that I thought to myself, if anybody's going to make this Joker fucking accurate, it's going to be him. I do like the fact that everybody that's played the Joker has played him differently. Jared Leto was going to get his own movie, and after Joaquin Phoenix did it, they were like, nah, we're not gonna do that. But every single look, Cesar Romero on the TV show played the Joker first time. Then Jack Nicholson. Okay.
I like the Jack Nicholson Joker.
Very much. But
The eyebrows are just natural. It's like-
Jack is Jack, and Jack does what Jack wants.
Yeah.
Smell the roses. Jack.
Yeah.
He's made for stuff like that. But then you have Jared Leto who goes out there, and it was awful. Like they didn't like it. It was too much, over the top. Tried, but Suicide Squad is like that.
Mhm.
And then Joaquin Phoenix, they made the Joker like a real story and not a comic book story. And that's why the Joker was successful.
Correct.
Because they didn't play it campy. They gave you something else. The drama he had with his mother, the fact that you believe that he was going on a date with this girl when he wasn't. He was just showing up in her apartment and sitting there and watching her. Oh, and the thing with the refrigerator, the camera was set up and it was just recording. And he walked down the hallway, opened up and took that stuff out of the refrigerator and went in there. He did it on his own.
Wow.
Like they just put the camera on De Niro in Taxi Driver. When he's doing that whole sequence of you talking to me? You talking to me? Huh, punk? You talking to me? And he pulls out the gun. He started doing, the camera was on. He just started doing it on his own. Nothing is scripted there. So some of these iconic moments in movies aren't scripted. It just happened to be that the actor
rolling in.
took what they gave him and just went. Just keep rolling. You never know what's going to happen. You never know what you're going to find. And that's iconic. And that made that movie great, which is an awesome thing, because I don't know how that movie would have been. I don't know how that movie would have been without it. But anyone else other than Joaquin Phoenix and everything he did, the amount of weight he lost physically to turn himself into this loser of a character and a person. He like everything that he did made it amazing, made it iconic. Like you'll remember that movie forever and you'll want to watch it forever. No matter what you know what happens, you'll want to watch that movie forever. Like we were talking, when we did our sports thing about sports movies, it's like sometimes they get actors who are really good athletes, who are good basketball players or good baseball players. And sometimes they get, like, you think, like, you couldn't have found like a baseball player, like, halfway.
Somebody bad.
Like, Wesley Snipes was in a movie where he played a baseball player, and he's non-athletic baseball player. He was okay as a basketball player in White Men Can't Jump, but he was awful. It was a movie called The Fan with Robert De Niro. He was awful as a baseball player. Like, one of the things they tell you about baseball is when you swing in the bat and your legs, your hips are turning, and he was swinging all upper body. It was like he wasn't going to hit home runs like that. Plus, they were playing in a monsoon. You're not going to play in a monsoon. Like, get it right. Basketball players, when they did that, Blue Chips, they took real basketball players, turned them into okay actors, and like put them out there and play it. Whatever. I don't know. Well, obviously, we're at the point where Sean couldn't make it. His replacement,
Chucky is speechless right now.
Speechless, which is interesting. I mean, I kind of got to rant and rave about I didn't rave, but I kind of ranted. So, I mean, that's pretty much it. I mean, you know, I hope that we keep doing this forever and ever and ever and ever and ever. Now, oh, I know. I had something funny. It's not funny for some people, but you know that in Congress, they the Juneteenth, they want to make it a federal law.
Yeah, they passed it.
Right. But do you know that 14 Republicans voted against it? So those guys, those 4 guys, they could have been anybody, those 14 Republicans would rather not have a day off but stay racist. Like, you think about that. They were like, look, you have a federal holiday. You get a vacation day. You get paid money. And they were like, nah, I'd rather stay racist and not vote for it. 14 Republicans didn't vote for that. Like, it didn't make it. Who doesn't vote for federal holidays? They're trying, what, not to give you or me a federal holiday? Get paid some overtime. There's so many people that are going to go to work on Juneteenth to get paid some overtime because it's a federal holiday. And there were 14 Republicans that were like, no, we can't, we don't want you to get paid and have some extra money. We like the idea of it not having that day and staying racist. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Oh, anyway, what time is it?
10.
10? All right.
The end.
Yeah, sounds like the end. 10 is the end. I went too far. I probably should have stopped at like 45 minutes.
Let's go bail them out.
Yeah, let's go bail them out. All right. I don't know who you were sticking around if it was just me. Sean wasn't here, but it is the Mike and Sean show. And it was just the Mike show. Mike on the mic. That's me. Mike on the mic.
Mike and Chucky show.
Mike and Chucky show. This is the Mike and Chucky show. Chucky had nothing to say, which was very amazing to know that he could be speechless. Anyway, if you listen, thank you very much. And peace. Love you. Love you all. Cheers to you.